Now this isn't something you see every day as an alarm call on a campsite. Sheep getting driven through. But it is a farm, it's a working farm. Well, I've decided to come camping up in the Lake District and maybe beyond, I'm not so sure, but certainly tonight I'm at a farm campsite called Side Farm Campsite, and it's at Patterdale near Glenridding, and it's on the shores of Lake Ullswater. Now it's about 45 years ago that I was here, so I have left it a bit long to come back, but it's a very basic campsite, but it is on the shores of Lake Ullswater, and Lake Ullswater is one of my favourite lakes, so I'll do some filming of the lake when I get the chance to do so. But shall we go and see if it's still the same as it was 45 years ago? Let's go and look. So that's Ullswater, and this is a lovely area, favourite lake this in the Lake District, and that's actually across there is Glenridding, and Patterdale is back in that direction that we've come from. So as you can see, it's a bit of a trail ride to get here and the bike's just down there and the campsite is here. The entrance is just there, slightly hidden, and just the backdrop of it is lovely quiet site this, on the lakes of Ullswater, and the cost for me solo riding, solo tent, was £10. So this is a corker for the location, because other campsites around Ullswater are charging 27, I think up to 30 sort of pound. And this is a nice basic site, but that's what I like. Let's go and have a look. I better climb down now. It's all hills around here, and so the backdrop is that behind, and Patterdale is there. So you've got Patterdale and Glenridding, and the nearest place to walk to is Patterdale, although across the water it would be Glenridding, but we're not going to swim. And the pubs are open, I've seen it. So unlike last time I was away, I am going to get a pint tonight. A lot of gates to open as well here. So yeah, this is the actual entrance, and the track that we're on is one of the walkways, you know, round the lake, going up to the tops. So let's get it pitched. Let's get to the pub. So guys, last time I was here about 45 years ago, and it hasn't changed. Exactly the same. Can't remember the toilet blocks as they were then, but the site is the same. But it's beautiful, and I'm at a sort of high point on the campsite with it laid out behind me, and behind the big tree is where we came in at the entrance, and there's all sorts of little places to pitch. Can be a bit sloping site, but there are little flat areas around, and this is what I say about this particular site, is the scenery is beautiful. If you look just behind us, there is Ullswater. Lots of sailing going on with Ullswater, and there is like a steamer that runs up and down. See how the weather is, I might even do that. It's a long time since I have. And then going in that direction, we're into the remaining part of the farmland, and there's a walkway that goes right along and goes up, not the sky. There's walkways that go onto the top of the fells. But yes, it's a really beautiful sight, this. And just to pan round again, hopefully you can just spot my bike just down there, just there. So I'm going to go, I just wanted to walk up here, have a little look around, and I think we'll just go find a site to pitch, and we can then have a better look at the site. Although it is a very basic one, there's not much more to look at really. You've seen the scenery and the hills. So yeah, just a spin round. Beautiful lake, this. If you've never been here to the English Lake District, and if you do actually come, there's lots of people go to Windermere, which is the biggest and well-known lake, but then there's lots of lakes that are not as busy, but in my opinion, more beautiful. And this is one of them, my favourite. Okay, so I've had a bit of a walk around. It is a slope. There's lots of slopey bits on this, but it is on a fell side and it's beautiful. However, I'm just where the bike is parked. I'm just going to pitch just down there, just below the bike, and that'll do me. It's not too bad. But anyway, I'm going to get the tent up, and I'll get back to you when I'm going to the pub. I'll talk to you then. Well guys, nicely pitched, all sorted, and this is my room with a view. Beautiful sight. When that sun shines, it's wonderful. Anyhow, less of that and more of going to the pub. The last 2 nights of camping, which you've seen on previous videos, was a complete failure because I forgot to get the beer and a pub was shut and there was no pub at the other side. Not going to happen tonight. Hi guys, well the tent's up and slightly sloping pitch, but I've pitched it okay, so I'll be sleeping fine. And it's although it's sloping a little bit, I can still sit on the chair, so everything's good. Good view of the lake, and as you can see in the background, it is a lovely area, this. A lot of midges out, just the way it is. And up there, ooh, big black clouds. Not forecast to rain tonight, but they look rain clouds to me. Anyhow, it is a lovely site. It's a small site, right on the lake, and it's Ullswater. Very peaceful, very quiet, very basic. You have a real sort of almost trail track to come down to get here. Cars and vans get down here, so I don't see any problem with any motorbike really. Just take it easy. The toilet facilities are there. It's an old barn that has been converted into ladies' gents toilets. There's another door, but it's all blocked off at the moment, and I guess because of COVID things are a bit different. The toilet facilities are very clean. There's showers, hot water, that's perfectly fine. Awful, aren't they? So yes, this was the toilet block all those decades ago. And just to prove the point, that was the ladies' side. Obviously it's been all ripped out, so there would be facilities in there. I just can't quite remember, to be honest. And the gentleman's side. So that's it. Disused now, and your toilet blocks are up there. And I just can't help but look at these stunning views. Sun sort of onto those fells there. And if we spin round behind the old toilet block, pretty cool like, isn't it? And you're immediately onto the fells. And there's multiple walks along the lake and up into the hills. What you see there is just a tiny little outcrop, and from there on it's a bit of a climb. Not going to do it this few days, but to be honest I'm going to come back and give it another go. So this is the trail coming up to from the farm up to the campsite, and I'm just walking back down towards the farm now. Beautiful backdrops, plenty of walks just literally off the trail, and I could stand here and look around and look at the views. I mean, just look how stunning this is. Just look how stunning this is. And that is £10 a night. How cool is that? I like these sites. And I could go on, to be honest with you, I could go for a walk so I can get the fire going. I could go for a walk into the village to go and look at the yachts in the lake and beauty, but I'm not. I'm off to the pub. My last 3 nights of camping, not subsequent to this, but last time I was away a couple of weeks ago, it was an abject failure, not even getting bottles of beer for the campfire. No mistake tonight, there's 2 pubs and I'm off to them. I'll speak to you in the morning. If I get up early. I think it's going to rain. I've actually put the tarp up again, but I've maybe showed you that. I forget. Anyway guys, beautiful this. So, the area here, is, I guess, one of the quieter lakes in the Lake District. It's oh, by the way, if you come on your motorbike, you have a little stream crossing to do as well. Well, it's only a little one, but you can notch it up, can't you? Actually, a bit deeper than I thought. Yeah, it's a beautiful area this. One of the quieter lakes is Ullswater. Everybody goes to Windermere, Ambleside, Keswick. You know, they're the main destinations. And they're really nice. So the destinations are really nice, but to be honest, this is quieter and I think nicer. So guys, still on the track going from the site back to the farm, which is just around the corner there. This on the appears to be quite steep, but not particularly. Well, I don't think so. If I was on a big Honda Gold Wing, I would not come to this campsite. Although you could leave the bike at the farm, I guess. But typical lakeland beauty. The old moss covered stones. They've been there since the Ice Age. Left there after the ice disappeared. And there in the distance we still have sunlight. That's a good walk up there actually. I've done it just the once actually. Oh no, I've done it a couple of times. One was a long time ago. There they are. We even have waterfalls. And that's what I've just walked down. Don't let it put you off. There's always walkers going along here, so they'll help you pick the bike up. So I'm just back to the farm now. It's only a few minutes. And then, to be honest, what we've got now is campsite's back up the track. And if I just spin round, farm's just here. So we're back to the farm and just look at the backdrop. I can't help but tell you about it. It's beautiful. And just across there, where the white buildings are, just there, there's a couple of pubs there. And I think there's one just here, but there's definitely 2 there. And I'm going to go to the first one I can get to. You'd think I was a heavy drinker, but I can only do 2 or 3 pints. But I'm going now. That's it. That's your lot now. Well guys, this is going to be the best walk to a pub ever. Bit breezy now. Could rain. But the pub's not so far away, it's just over there. Yeah. You'll enjoy this. Just don't come on a Harley or a Honda Goldwing. Look at that backdrop. I'm going to say it again, this is a wonderful area, this. So underneath the toilet block is a little bit of a wash-up room, and it's got some machines in there, washing machine, tumble dryers, things like that. So obviously a little bit of an area you can dry out as well. There's some people in this morning who were doing the coast to coast walk. They were just drying some gear out in there. So let's have a little look in, I'll show you. All very basic, this site, but it's nice for it, and in all honesty, it's like semi-wild camping, but you've got the facilities, if you know what I mean. It's great. Let's have a look. So yeah, just a basic washing up room, and then we have another room through here with washing and drying machines. A lot of people do the coast to coast walk, so I guess this is why all the washing and drying gear is here, because when you're doing the coast to coast walk, it's I guess with the weather you get in the Lake District, it can be you know, you can have your gear absolutely soaking, can't you? At least you can have a bit of a dry up. And there's a couple of more sinks in here as well, so very basic, but it's it works. So, side farm campsite at Patterdale, and it's on Lake Ullswater, and that's in the Lake District, the English Lake District, and it's stunning. I might have mentioned it a couple of times before, but I'm going to mention it again because the sun's come out. It's been a really horrible, wet, windy night and morning, and there was a bit of snow covering on the top of the fells up there first thing this morning, but the rain seems to have got rid of that. But this is the site. Well, that's the lake there, you can just see there, and actually if I swing round in the distance there, you can see the three cruise boats that go up and down Ullswater, basically from Glenridding to a place called Pooley Bridge, and it's a beautiful lake, this. My favourite. I've said it before, I'm going to say it now, and it'll be the last time I say it. It's my favourite lake in the English Lake District. Doesn't look like the boats are doing any business today, and I think that's because the weather's forecast is so bad, albeit we just have a momentary little bit of sunshine come out and gone dry. So just swinging back round from the lake, the campsite's actually on the shores of the lake, but it's at a place called Patterdale, which is a little hamlet further on from the village of Glenridding, which is what I've just shown you. All walkable, easily walkable from the campsite, and this is the campsite we've got laid out before us. It's just it's pretty much like wild camping, to be honest. There are some slopey bits, but there's plenty of little flat areas. I've managed to get when I got here, there was quite a few, actually a lot of vans here, camper vans, you know, little VWs and stuff like that. It's very popular with walkers here because of, well, just look at the backdrop. That's why it's popular with walkers. And when I've mentioned about slopey site, don't let that put you off, because although I'm on a very slight slope, if you pitch the tent right, then you know, you're okay with that. But there are plenty of flat areas as well. This site you can't pre-book. Oh, just to point out, the sort of hills behind, the fells they call them here, behind, That's just a little baby one. If you get over the top of that, then it just goes straight up. We just can't see it from this location. But trust me, it goes all the way to the top. So this is typical campsite. This campsite's typical of Lakeland, Lake District geography, and it's a working farm. Obviously, the campsite is a ancillary to that working farm, but this campsite's been here for decades. I came about 45 years ago here, and I've never been back, and I don't know why I've not been back. I guess it's because I used to live near here, so it wasn't, you know, it just was too near almost. So getting back to the layout of the field, as you can see, I mean, I hope you can pick up from the video, but there are flat areas, one or two slopey areas, plenty of flat area at the where the toilet block is at the beginning, and then you've got little dotted flat areas. Some of them are hidden, just typically just down here. You wouldn't take your bike down here, but there's a nice flat area down there where obviously somebody has pitched. And just to swing back around, this is the end of the campsite, basically where I was stood, and this area here just behind us is reasonably flat. It's not completely flat, but it's not that you know, you're in the Lake District, you're in the mountains here, and but there are flat areas. So I've just come down off that little high spot there, so there's a nice little area to camp up there. Somebody occupied it though when I arrived, and you know, you get your tent pitched here, which is another little flat spot just there. Just look at that scenery. That's what you're waking up to. Wonderful. And the sun actually sets over those mountains behind us. So the sun sets over there. It's quite nice night actually. You know, I quite enjoyed it. Didn't rain much, but it rained through the night. So I'm just coming down now just to sort of just to show you that the shoreline is down there. Can't camp on the shoreline. I mean, it's a bit sort of, it'd be too rough to camp on the shoreline, to be perfectly honest. But if you look down here, there's another little area down here, which so you got another little area down here, and again, all these little areas are there's lots of them dotted around where you can pitch. As it was when I arrived, that was about the best spot I could get, to be honest, because it was pretty busy when I arrived. Well, relatively so. But that's a nice pitch. And again, you get little pitches like this. It's nice, and a little stream running through, which in winter would become a torrential river. Yeah, I think we'll just have a little look. I didn't get everywhere myself last night, I just had a little look around. So we'll just head down to the actual shoreline. I noticed there was some people with a canoe. In fact, I was talking to them. They were canoeing across to the village, which is on the other side of the lake. Now you can't actually camp down here, but you can get down here, especially in summer, get down here and have your little beer or two. and people have got their blow up dinghies there. So you're allowed to, if you've got a, not on a motorbike obviously, but if you've got a boat, canoe, blow up, you can launch from here. And I just think, you know, in summer it'll just be nice sat down here, to be honest. Sat down here with a beer, something to eat, the sun setting over the top of those mountains. Actually, the sun sets over those mountains there, so that's the direction the sun sets. And it's a bit choppy today, it's a bit wild really. It's going to rain very heavy this afternoon, but for now we've just got a moment. Beautiful area and beautiful campsite. Doesn't get much better than that, does it? I think you've got to sort of treat this as a little bit of a wild camp experience. It's not a pristine laid out campsite, but a pristine laid out campsite doesn't necessarily nestle on the shores of a lake in the Lake District, and doesn't have the abundance of mature trees and wildlife that this site has got. So that's it, my friends. I'm just going to pan round and show you the entire site from this location, with your toilet blocks and wash up facilities underneath. And obviously the little hidden areas that I've shown you over the top there. Back round to the shoreline. So, a very, very wet and windy Sunday at Ullswater. Sheeting it down, blowing, well, it's gusty, really gusty. It's a funny old thing, just to mention the tarp. Without it, it would have been a much worse experience in the bad weather, obviously. It's getting towards the end of May, and it's too cold to sit out, even under the tarp. It's too cold, so I'm sat in the tent. I have been out on the bike today, so that's not too bad, but it's pretty abysmal out there now. However, the tarp, I'm going to show you something, but the tarp has worked well. It's I've just put all my riding gear out there just to drip dry a little bit, so I'm going to show you that, and show you the tarp from inside and the alarming bend in the pole when the wind blows. Let's have a look. Yeah, so yeah, just got my dry bag there, keeping dry-ish, and bike gear just on top to just get that little bit of water off that was on. Same with the helmet and gloves. Oh, look at that! Look at the pole go. I should almost take the thing down, but I'm not going out. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, as I've said in previous videos of the tarp, it really is. I really like the tarp. I think the pole's a little bit weak, a weak point. However, it hasn't gone yet. It hasn't broken yet. Maybe I should test it to destruction. But these winds are going to keep up, I think, for most of the evening, so if it fails, I'll film it. Okay? I think that's enough for now, isn't it? I'm getting back to my cup of tea, chocolate biscuits. Now this isn't something you see every day as an alarm call on a campsite. Sheep getting driven through. But it is a farm, it's a working farm. So, well, don't see that often, do you, through a campsite? But it's a working farm, and the sheep have come out of the field just over there where there's a gate, right the way through the farm, the campsite, to another gate and on into the farm. I think I was just trying to think what to say about the campsite, as it's my last morning and I'm going to wander off in the next hour or so. But I think that sums it up, really. I don't think there's much more I could say about it. Well, the bike's packed, ready to go, and it's dried up a little bit. It has been a pretty wet visit for the 2 days I've been here, and I just really want to sum up the stay, apart from it being wet and horrible. The site itself is a lovely site. It's a very, very basic site. It's almost like wild camping. You've seen shots of the field. There's lots of slopey bits. There are some flat areas. I'm on a semi-slopey bit, but if you position your tent with your head at the top of the slope, you're okay. Don't let that put you off. This is a beautiful location if you're into just relaxing, chilling, walking. I mean, you're straight onto a byway, a walk. It is a byway actually. Walk that goes right along the lake, and then you can get the steamer, one of the steamers, back from Pooley Bridge, which is where that walk will end up at, back to Glenridding, which is a nice walk, maybe about a 15-20 minute walk. You can see it, but you've got to go around, so about 15-20 minutes walk. So you could do that as a nice little trip out for the day. Great bike riding around here. You're only, I suppose, half an hour from Ambleside, Windermere, Grasmere, and then on to wherever you want to go. The site, as I've mentioned, is very basic. The toilet blocks are basic, concrete floor, but the amenities are there. There are showers, toilets and sinks. And the shower is definitely hot water, a touch too hot for me. It's a good little site. The track to get to it from the farm to the field is a little bit of a challenge, in that some bikes maybe wouldn't be too suitable to come here, but if you look at the video clip, as long as it's worked, then you'll be able to determine yourself. Yeah, so how do I sum it up? I suppose I just sum it up by saying that it's basic, it's almost like wild camping, but you've got facilities, but it's in a stunning location, and you've got the lake, Ullswater, just there. I have mentioned about the track from the farm to the campsite, which is in that direction. It's like a full-blown gravel trail ride. Maybe not quite as bad as that, but it's be challenging for some people, to be honest. However, I've had a chat with the owner of the farm, and for those bikes that don't feel comfortable going down that track, and it's only a five-minute walk or so, for those that don't like riding down that track that you've seen, they'll find somewhere to park your bike at the farm. And there's a bit of hard standing just behind me there, right next to the farm, and other bikers that do come here but don't want to go down that track park there. So you could park your bike if you want to visit this site but are a bit worried about that trail ride. You can park your bike at the farm, and they'll keep an eye on it. But yeah, well, at least that helps with some that are not so sure about going on that track. So the little steamboats that ply the waters between Glenridding, where we're at now, and Pooley Bridge, one of them is just there, and very graceful boats they are too. So again, this is just a slightly different view from the where the cafe was, and the campsite is, well, basically behind the boat, wherever the boat is. There we are. So the campsite is up there. Yeah, it's a lovely place. Need to come when it's hot, when it's warm, not when it rains. But it's the Lake District, so it rains a lot.